Yeah, I can't even conceptualize that. That is the prime minister. You don't have to agree with him. That's not your boyfriend. That's not your husband. Good. And he's entitled to his opinions, and he is the prime
Just
minister.
like you are entitled.
Yeah, he was the prime minister at the time. So I had always, even back then, shunned attempts to put him in this kind of a light. I don't believe that's good politics. You know, we are, well, I can speak for myself, you may as well, fan of the British. And there are very intelligent ways I could say what I want to say without going down in our canal. So that type of behavior, the Minister of Culture, I understand, was Jed and Bood,
Time and place.
Michelle Benjamin, and I don't know that, I don't see the link between that and emancipation in the first place.
Correct.
But for me, it is also telling of what attracts us. What attracts us? I tell you, I am watching this series called Gotham, and on one of the mercenaries on Gotham, he hypnotizes people and gets them to do anything he wants. And I feel somehow politicians have a way of hypnotizing members of the public to do some very, very, in my view, very, very foolish things.
No, I don't see. Personally, I see what happened there at that celebration with the booing of both Kojo and this lady at different times. I see that as indicative of even what Marcel would have said.
Yeah.
The guy from the Beatum,
Yeah.
what he would have said. Because he said that in a forum with he said that in a forum with the opposition leader.
Yeah.
And senior person.
And wasn't
in the
called to
party.
order.
Yeah.
And then I
it was not
remember,
order for them.
and then my memory took me back to when former Prime Minister Patrick Manning lost
Yeah.
that night in Bally's House.
Yeah, I remember how
And I replayed in my mind some of the things that were said to that gentleman, and the way our own, they didn't have no China. I didn't see any Chinese in the crowd, right? You know, we like to say it's Trinidadians. No, the way the Afro-Trinidadian base treated Mr. Manning was deplorable. So is it something in us, about us? And I'm not saying us meaning everybody, because it's not a generalized statement for all. But I didn't see any place for that type of behavior. I didn't see it. As a matter of fact, I would think that a responsible leader would call for it to stop. I would have done that.
Yeah.
I would have done that. You can't insult anybody on my watch. You know, that is not what I am about. I will disagree with them. Good. We will argue politics. But I will not get down there, and I will not allow that to pass for politics. I will not allow it to pass for expression and oppression and all the other things that we seem to be suffering in this Somalia. Because somehow we feel it's Somalia. Somehow we feel it's the Middle East.
Maybe they may say it's a cultural thing, but the thing is, say what you want to say about the other group. They may say what they have to say sometimes on Facebook. They may say it on, they may say it behind closed doors. They may even, their supporters may even hint certain things to people from time to time. But all of the things that, the things that we remember that is reflective of that discussion of racial tension in Trinidad and Tobago would have come from, in my opinion, save and except with the Oreo statement, and that Oreo statement was attributed to the Dr. Rowley for reasons that even people like us believe it was so. Because to me, for the most part, the PNM would have lost the elections because the people felt that Oreo statement to a large extent was truth. The truth, the people on the ground, the normal man on the ground, was feeling as though the commanding heights of the economy, everything was supportive of a certain kind of people.
Well,
right?
well,
but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I don't want to go too much into it. If I remember the Calcutta statement, I remember all the other statements that was made that really, to me, reflect how we feel about each other racially, right? And it is not as much as what we would have heard from. It is not as much as what we would have heard from the other side. Quite frankly, I'm talking about in public.
Yeah. Well, I do not like it at all. Any side of the fence it comes from. I am for the total abolition of race baiting. Period. I dare not accuse one and leave out the other. I don't like it at all. I don't even like the suggestion. Where I've heard it coming from the East Indian community, I have said that this is untruth and uncalled for and very distasteful. And I must be consistent in my condemnation of what, in my view, is very low-class thinking and low-class communication. That's me. That is me, and I'm not taking side with it. It's just something we can do it out. It does not carry us anyway. It does not carry us anywhere. And as a matter of fact, those who stand divided and who are affected by this the most are members of the poorer class. And that is the truth. Because people into business and with money will do what it takes to survive economically.
And in fact,
You will buy in convenience store, and she had a convenience store, same dollar. I don't sit down and say how I ain't selling to you, and people look at Charlotte Street. You look at Charlotte Street, I never see anybody say I'm not selling you, because no. So this fast that we seem to think that there's a line in Trinidad somewhere. Now we do have different experiences. There are certain things that we do have to discuss. I'm not putting my head in the sand about that. Marcus Garvey said race first, and he called for an honest discussion on it. Because where you have multi-ethnic society and you have the appearance of prejudice, you must explain the imbalance in your policies. That's not racism. That's common sense. We must see, Now it doesn't always go 6 and 6. That too is ridiculous. Nobody puts out a policy and say, well, we want 6 Indians and 6 Africans, then we're going to have 6 Chinese. That too. And sometimes we look for it like that, and that is absurd.
Unless we're asking for policies like affirmative action.
Affirmative action. That too is absurd. You will not get that. However, in a very sensitive and diverse society, pluralist, you must always be seen to trying to achieve that objective.
Yes.
And that
must always be.
That goes for any government. Any government. If you feel that your decisions may even appear to offend, you should take stock.
Correct.
You should take stock and think. And if somebody asks you to explain, don't be afraid to explain and engage, because people feel a particular type of way. Historically, some people have been disenfranchised. That is not a fallacy. On both sides. That is not a fallacy at all. Some of us have been disfranchised. Some of us have been disfranchised because of where we live. They ain't meet you yet. When you follow the application form and you put through macaque, you're all going on. Good? With certain jobs, certain places. Some of us are disenfranchised because of what school we attend. Some of us are disenfranchised maybe sometimes based on religion. The truth is we do have these things happening in society. But to accept open ridicule, and it started in the parliament, eh? This is where all this started. Because people click on the TV and heard the level of heard certain things said across the floor in debates and discussions that have no place for them. They have no place at all. If you could get away with it in the parliament, why not in the street? Good? But you would think that responsible leadership calls for one to abandon those things, because those things fuel a kind of a... We're playing with dynamite. Eh? We haven't met Rhodesia yet, nor Somalia, but we're playing with a little dynamite. We're playing with a little dynamite. And we don't understand where and when that dynamite is lit, it will not be easy. Let us not harbor and foster the conditions and sentiments for civil war and ethnic retaliation. We continue with carnival ways and Christmas and eating ham, and because these are our cultural realities, you know. Good? Pilau and roti, and we good, and you know, we Marshall come. Nobody care who you be. Nobody don't watch.
You remember when your small parents used to say, what is that for crapo? Sometimes try and see it as games.
As games. Yeah.
You know?
And we must not play with these things. These things, you know, some of us have enough sense to walk away. But when you drum it into children, and you drum it and you drum it and you drum it and you... It's like some of us who grew up in the corridor. When you grew up in the East-West corridor, P&M is gold. You don't even know why. You're not even working. You understand? It is said to you, when you're going to vote, when you now turn 18 and you will not vote.
You can't be in here.
Nah, you can't be in here. You can't be there watching here.
You can't come home here.
No. It is just expected of you. Nobody expects you to think, you know. Thinking not in it. You better go down the road. Good? And you hear these stories of old. And you can use stories of the past to help you navigate the future. But you can also use the past to hold people in bondage. If I meet a girl and she tell you how much man hurt her, you know what I mean? Going on with you. So, Jerry, and this one that you reminded me of Kevin, you know. This time you don't even know the individuals. Yeah. The past. We could be a slave to the past. We could be a slave. But I remember in 62 when we went downtown and oh my God, you born yesterday, you know. You born yesterday. You have no issues. You going sugar on us. You going Carapachima. You going Caroni. Matter of fact, the little ladies in the bar, you don't distinguish once you getting a few drinks. Good? But that programming, that mental programming, that them and we is such a diabolical thing. Because some people will take it like drugs. Some people will get hooked on it. And that's the only lens they see. You didn't get a job? They don't like black man. You ain't getting to school? They don't like black man. So you walk and you live your life with your eyes on the ground. Because somebody tell you they don't like black man.
And that is not to say, all that we are saying here is not to say that they are not well-defined, not segregation, but well-defined antics by the leaders.
Yes.
Sometimes the UN.
Some baiting, to
sometimes separate us or to sometimes take advantage of situation and deal with one kind of people only, and that kind. It happens. It happens as people you're dealing with, right? And they could tell you to a large extent sometimes why they do that. They can tell you. I hear stories. They can tell you that word recalcitrance minority. Right? That word was used. Plenty. A lot of them took it to mean that nothing for you. I mean, we in power. We will remain in power, and if they want to be non-cooperative or whatever, stay so, rock so, you know. Nothing for you. And people still harboring that old East Indian men and women still harboring that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And all of that put together in this melting pot is, to a large extent, is still what creating some of the division in society. But to the younger people who understand what's going on,
Read.
who can
Please.
read and understand and see,
Please.
right? I am not seeing. I was part of the campaign of the UNC, and I didn't personally, I didn't see or feel in any way that there was anything racially untoward or any way in any way to respect anything. As a matter of fact, I see a lot of people looking just like me, who was among them and doing the same thing that they were doing in the PNM, because I was in the PNM. I grew up in the PNM. I sat on the General Council of the PNM for years, and I understand how the PNM operates.
So we have to be very careful that we're playing with dynamite. We're playing with dynamite. Callers, the number to call is 342-008-1466-5391. Playing with dynamite.
What do you think about all of this what's going on, James?
Most of those things that are happening were created by politicians.
Yeah.
I live in an area where all of us are one. They have nothing. I never.
Bring the mic closer to you, Mr. James. We're not here.
And you live with East Indian and African,
Yes.
Spanish.
It doesn't matter who they are.
And as a member of the service, you had to serve everyone.
Everyone.
You had to protect anybody.
That's
You couldn't worry about what their surname was.
mm-mm.
That had nothing to
It
do
had
with it.
nothing to do with it. Service is service. Service is for all.
Yes.
And when you talk about Trinidad and Tobago, you talk about everybody.
Yes.
All races, all ethnicity, everything.
And we haven't even gotten into your interview yet, but noticing the area in which you were involved, that Tuna Puna, that corridor is mixed.
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah, we don't see it that way, but it's mixed. In parts of Malik, it's mixed.
We have the Page.
Correct. We have the Page.
Yes.
We take a lot of things for granted and we hear a lot of stories. So call us 342-0081, Mr. Bailey. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, gentlemen, and good afternoon to your listeners. I'll have to unpack. Mr. Rolex, when you're going up for elections, in hope that Trinidad will choose a better option, right? Because you outlined some things, yeah?
Yes, go
which
ahead.
is what wouldn't pass under your watch as a leader. We won't see that under either party. You talk about about something else you mentioned. But nonetheless, I'm saying that while these two leaders continue to look for kink in each other's armor, if they simply look internally, they will be able to see the things that they are saying, because it address this factory man that if you get the position, you are going.
Caller, we're not hearing you too clearly. Maybe you can call us back.
On the next line.
So, given the area you had to work, you would have to interact with different people.
All kind of people.
And you couldn't use that as a lens. You couldn't say, he's an African like me, so most likely he don't have a gun. You would not have been here.
That's not how it works.
That's not how it works. He's an Indian, which means he don't have a gun. That is such a very, very, very dark lens. Let me take this caller. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Granny.
Good afternoon, Granny.
We people, I can be. We people, African and Indian, live with love. Well, the older are dead out now, so the young ones, they're bad, but they're not like how we used to live.
Yeah.
One man who Benjamin, Mokowi, I don't know if you know about him. This my neighbor, was Mr. Lalji. He was a man, everybody did pray Dolce and a man, the man with the damaging two Spanish girl eyes. You remember that?
Manu Benjamin,
Yeah.
Huh?
We learning. School us.
Manu Benjamin.
Mano Benjamin, they call him Bokoe, they call him Batman, is up by we in Beast. And when he damaged our neighbor, we neighbors, we close neighbors, and they were here. And we used to live with love. Where did this thing come from? And my father said, what? Mano Benjamin say he's bad. He breaks my neighbor hand. Nobody can take my neighbor to the police station. My father take him. And I was there. And my father take him to the Beach police station. And there is where the police went and hold Bokoe and get out the two young Spanish girls. Oh, you can't remember that case? He damaged up the two girls with cigarette guns and kept them blind. One was blind, one was a kind of half blind. And my father was the one who carried me Creole neighbor. And Mano telling my father, when he come out, he go do for him. My father said, what you could do, I could do the same thing too. So my father, that was Creole and Indian, look how they live like brothers. Look how nice they live. And the two girls get to come out. I don't know why people talking about this. And I want to say this too. For Indian Arrival Day, this Creole man sing the song Jahaji Bhai. That is in the whole of Trinidad Indian Arrival Day. I go see, look at Eco Park in St. Helena, like my family. Down there, they have big emancipation day thing. And it's a 3/4 Indian, 1/4 Creole. I don't see nothing if Indians celebrate Emancipation Day with Indian music and African drumming. It is a different I do myself. You understand? And the Diwali Nagar. Diwali is the most auspicious day in the Hindu calendar. That is the time that is very auspicious. Raymond Ramnarine have two Creole boys with him. If Beckles and them know, let they hear it and that's it all. They will be playing their music together with Raymond Ramnarine and the Diwali Nagar. Anthony Batson, he's a Creole boy. He got first prize in the Diwali Nagar. What happens to these people? The opposition want to bring everything race. Why we live in nice? We live in nice. So there has been in Nagar. So if we take part in emancipation, nothing wrong. Only we live in God area.
Yes.
I love all the programs and thanks all very much.
Thank you, Granny. You know, age sometimes brings reason, Sometimes, not a lot, but, you know, she could have recounted certain parts of her own life and livelihood. In Bish, I make that's where she's from. I don't know about life in Bish. You know?
Country life.
Country life. I a tongue boy, they say. Good. and the mix is even more subtle as you go further into the country.
Mm-hmm.
The mix is even more subtle. You have certain traditions, you know.
A long time growing up, we didn't really see race. I mean, there were things
Your
that
neighbor have some food, whatever they have, they would share with you. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
We didn't see race long time.
You have banana, I share banana with you, you give me mango. Whatever we have, or we had, we'd share. So it is something that we really had to pay attention to.
Good afternoon, caller.
Hi, good afternoon to the Empire. I just always get a call and something with my line of work for to greetings to the other brother there as well.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, good afternoon again. And to your guests.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Mr. James.
Okay,
Mr. James,
good
by
afternoon.
chance, you are the former officer who they used to call Smiley?
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, now you don't know my name. But if you say, yeah, man. I went Curab Junior Second in
That go to school.
85 to 88. I went to Augustine Senior, come from 88 to 90. Yeah,
Okay,
I know
okay.
you, and I remember you very well.
All right.
Yes. It's a pleasure to hear. I take it that you are retired now.
Yeah, correct. I'm retired now.
Yes.
You get me? You get me?
He's a good one. He's a good one.
Yes.
Remember me. He's a good one. He's
So
a good one.
I am one of those you didn't have to buff up to go home because my father is a retired officer, 46, 7 years in our own school. So you didn't have to buff me up because
All right.
I'm
That's nice. That's nice. I appreciate that.
and he's still alive, and back to
Yes.
What's your father's name? What's your father's name?
His name was Francis Guevara, Senior.
All right.
Okay.
Nice one. Give him my
Yeah,
greetings, right? Give him my greetings.
Sure, no problem. Yeah, so I mean, no problem. It's nice to hear that you're still up and about, and that's good. Nice to hear. I've followed you all as any community the old man crew now. I'm 52, proud to say it. So you know,
Yeah.
thank God for that.
Yeah.
So, but it's nice to hear you. And before I go, but Matterson, let me tell you also. If Mr. James, I believe he knows my father, and what I'm saying is that we mix, and I was telling Jay before in the program before, my great-grandfather was Ali Baksh. My great-grandmother was, great-great-grandparents was Aparicio's. On one side was Guevara's. And it is alleged, my father's sisters, because he's the eldest of the, and all these, and then his sisters after. They look at my great-grandmother and look at my grandmother. I had known her, that's my father's mother. They say high cheekbone. It is alleged, and they are doing research that we could have probably first peoples in us. If so is such as, I am a mix, I'm a Trinidadian first. I ain't seeing nothing else. The late Dr. Morgan Jubisa always say, go India, go Africa, go China and say is that this and is that that. They will ask you, where you born?
Call us say that again, because I don't understand this discussion that we keep having, you know. We are so obsessed with not belonging to Trinidad.
As a Trini, because wherever we go, so wait now, Dwight York, I say, yeah, we traveled once, so wait now, and I when Dwight York was no running red with Man U, they said, but wait now, that's the country Dwight York, Brian Lara, I say, yeah,
Yes.
Pan, I say, yeah, that's what we are synonymous for.
Yes.
And then when they go into food, that's the next thing by itself.
Yes.
Because sometimes Mr. James will come and say, fellas, do fast, because the doubles man smoke, he go pass up. Come, we're making crowd, they go quick. Take all the doubles and go.
All right.
So, but as I say, locked on listening is nice hearing you, Mr. James. We'll meet one good blessed day.
Yes, man.
Program was always on. Program and the Third Empire always was good. I've been listening to the radio station and the various programs.
All right.
So locked on and listening.
Well, I'm looking forward again, so we will hear a little more about it.
No problem. Take care. So locked on and listening.
All right, nice.
Good afternoon, sir.
No longer I touch base with the Third Empire. All in Empire in white, all Empire in blue. Look at the run zombie.
Meet Super Blue today.
All go there for black participation there.
Well, we were in blue. We staying away from that talk.
Well, I
We were
went
in blue.
blue because that is that job. Because I was taking it, I don't really go to emancipation there and put on that clothes. And Papa show myself to play African for one day. And there's no love and no unity there. But I see they come prepared there for the Honorable Prime Minister to actually worst and pelt and boat thing in it. But you know she's an old veteran. She know how to war. She ain't come out. But my black sister come out and just in the crowd. And I see her next black sister, Boinchi, a man Boinchi, who cussing she and telling she did. She wasn't hungry for the last 9 years plus. When I really tell you who dead, who live. And if you're hungry and all them kind of things, you know what kind of worst they was telling me. But just to know, they get black conscious. But I ain't like black. Something really wrong with we people, you know. And I have one come on now talking now, boy. But we get in a building, boy. When we get 400 acres of land to build malls and the gas station, all them kind of thing, by 40 something, they pay them on this country, you know. You know that Marcus Senior was there.
We're going to break now. Okay.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
Peace of God be multiplied unto you in the precious name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. This is Redemption Hour, a gospel program where God will reveal His mind to you on how to live a fulfilled life and to please Him in all areas. Join Pastor Femi Afolabi, the National Overseer of Deeper Christian Life Ministry, Trinidad and Tobago, and other seasoned ministers for a time of divine encounter as they minister and pray for you every Saturday by 9 o'clock in the morning of this station, Street FM 91.9. Our church is Deeper Life Bible Church, number 1 Cochrane Street, opposite Tunapuna Police Station, Tunapuna. The times of our services are as follows: Sunday worship service, 9 a.m., Monday Bible study, 6 p.m., Thursday revival hour, 6 p.m. The redemption hour is a life-changing moment you cannot afford to miss. For special prayer or counseling, contact Pastor Femi Afolabi on 778-9933. God bless you as you listen to this program. Jesus is Lord.
When every hand start waving, it's KFC a craving. Extra crispy or spicy, it blazing. So when it comes to flavor, you know we can't lose. It's popcorn chicken in 3 kinds of sauce. So you dip on, you dip on, you dip on, you dip. KFC popcorn chicken, make it dance while you dip. Yes, you dip on, you dip on, you dip on, you dip. Somebody bring the KFC quick, I'm telling you. Get your hands on KFC's extra crispy or spicy popcorn chicken, starting at just $35. Or grab the winning combination: 3 pieces of chicken and 4 tenders for $79.95. KFC, it's finger licking good.
TechFlex TT Limited, the #1 computer store in Trinidad and Tobago, has all your tech needs. We have the latest computers, powerful MacBooks, and affordable Chromebooks for school and work, providing new and refurbished options to suit everyone's budget. Also, we carry a variety of printer options and ink solutions for your home and office needs. Need repairs done? Our experienced technicians can solve your tech problems. Visit us now at any of our 2 locations: Wilson Road, Scarborough, next to Royal Castle, or Penco Street, Montrose, Chagonas. Call 235-4919 for more info. TechFlex TT Limited. Affordable tech, exceptional service.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast, heard every Monday
from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning on the Street 919 FM.
Hear my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
KFC onion rings, bring the sauce, bring the sauce. Come to the crunch like a boss, like a boss. Add a ring, show me onion ring, onion ring, onion ring, onion ring, ding. Show me your onion ring, it's a ding ding. Yes, it's a brand new thing called onion ring. Level up your order. Onion ring, chicken sandwich full of flavor. Add a ring to your twister. Somebody better go and tell the neighbor. Add a ring, show me onion ring, onion ring, onion ring, onion ring, ding. Show me your onion ring, it's a ding ding. Yes, it's a brand new thing called onion ring.
Show off your ring at KFC with the new onion ring chicken sandwich for $34.95, or get a regular side of rings for just $15.
Upgrade your main meal and your side piece too. KFC onion rings are on the menu. Add a ring, and every ding ding.
The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
And we're back. We on this rock continuously justify without thought adulation of the past that resulted from the forced migration of Africans due to the actions by their fellow men who sold them to white slavers, and the caste system in India that forced our Indian diaspora to run from India. Every year, Trinidad and Tobago revisits the same cycle. Politicians deliver carefully crafted speeches for Emancipation Day and Arrival Day, competing to demonstrate solidarity with one community or the other. The rhetoric is predictable, the symbolism abundant, and the promises plentiful. Yet, once these celebrations end, the country's fundamental problems remain untouched. This is not an argument against commemorating Emancipation Day or Indian Arrival Day. These are defining chapters of our national story that deserve recognition. The problem is that they have increasingly become political instruments rather than occasions for national reflection. Our leaders appear more interested in cultivating ethnic constituencies than cultivating national excellence. While other countries debate artificial intelligence, biotechnology, advanced manufacturing, and economic competitiveness, we continue to recycle discussions about historical grievances and ethnic identity. We seem to be more comfortable celebrating where our ancestors came from deciding where our nation is going. A country obsessed with looking backwards cannot move forward with purpose. History should be a foundation, not a destination. Our children deserve a future built on world-class education, healthcare, innovation, entrepreneurship, productivity, and merit, not one where every major conversation is filtered through the lens of race and ancestry. The uncomfortable truth is that identity politics has become one of Trinidad and Tobago's greatest obstacles to development. It encourages citizens to think as members of competing ethnic groups instead of partners in a common national project. It rewards politicians who divide rather than inspire, and shifts public attention away from issues that generally affect the quality of life. The greatest tribute we can pay to formerly enslaved Africans, to Indians, indentured laborers, and to every other group that built this nation is not another ceremonial speech. It is creating a country that leads in the Caribbean in education, healthcare, technology, good governance, and economic opportunity. That would honor their sacrifice far more than annual displays of political theater. The time has come to demand a different conversation. Let us remember our history with dignity but refuse to be imprisoned by it. Let us reject political pandering disguised as cultural respect. Let us insist that our leaders spend less time appealing to ethnic sentiment and more time in building institutions that reward competence, integrity, and excellence. A nation that continually defines itself by yesterday will never become the nation it could be tomorrow. Fuad Khan. Well said. There is nothing more to add to this opinion. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon again, gentlemen. I was saying we are most times our greatest challenge, because you see, in spite of these so-called leaders who are politicians, at times showing their hand and making certain statements, they continue to be able to pull a crowd in. They continue to be able to pull a crowd, right? And the thing is, while they look for kink in each other's armor, I'm saying all they need to do is try to take a little look internally. I am yet to hear Ms. Beckles address these statements or sentiments from Curry Marcel, which in my opinion is one of the worst and most dangerous statements today.
100% agree.
Yeah.
100% agree today.
Openly say that you is going to exercise malice and all these different kind of things if you get a position. Yeah. I tell you, something wrong with us.
That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear the opposition address. When they address that, I can say I truly have respect for them.
Of course,
address that.
That is the worst one today. The UNC have many blunders under their belt as well, but none was as blatant as the statements that Kareem would have uttered on that platform in their political gathering. That is not somewhere where anybody could come up and talk on your platform or something like that. And as they would have outlined products, that not passing under your watch. Huh. And even if it's coming from a supporter, you would have at least called for them to do better and operate in a different manner. But
if a UNC person had said that, Tong might have gone long. You see the disparity?
Well, listen to me, caller. I said it the last time we were here, right? Marcus Garvey said, some of us will not be part of repatriation because we have nothing to offer Africa. If we go back Africa, they'll have to lock us up. We have nothing to contribute. And some people have nothing to contribute to the community, to Trinidad as it is. I am still trying to figure out who is we and who is them. I don't see that. I pay my tea and tech bill today. I didn't see that on the bill.
We or them.
You pay a bill, when last you pay a bill and see we. You're Afro-Trinidadian, please take a discount of $200. When last you see that?
But you know it's the funny thing? In a crisis, all of that is fall by the wayside. You know?
Exactly.
People in a crisis, you know.
Exactly.
Everything is disregarded in terms of the what separates us.
Exactly.
And you will see everybody putting their hands to help.
And let Marshall Montano give a free concert, and nobody will say he's African, we ain't going. That makes no sense. we selectively choose these things and are fed these things, and that is what really gets me. Because when you get down to the grassroots of society and everyday life, we have the same challenges, partner. If you drive in certain parts of Trinidad, you know, you don't know poverty until you start to drive around Trinidad. Mm-hmm. Don't look next door to you, drive.
More than just our selectiveness. We allow ourselves to be occupied, whether it's for 3, 4, 5, 6 days.
Correct.
On these topics that really should not be on the political platform or in the political discussion. We have more serious things to deal with, right? And these people understand this game and this system so well that they will know that it have people engaging in that activity within their own party, but come out and call on their opponents to stop engaging in it.
And caller, and it is such ignorant behavior, and you know, it's like people who could see only as far as they toe. Growing up, I thought, right? Here's what I thought, and don't laugh at me. I thought Westmoreland was the richest part of Trinidad I've ever seen. Because you've seen the big house, you've seen the house on the hill. When I started to drive down south, and I started to see backhoe and truck, and house where you can't even see the end of the wall, and people living granny, auntie, everybody, and we sometimes we're very ignorant, you know. And leaders get to play on this. They get to play on this, and it is unfortunate that we continue to have this discussion when people have real problems in Trinidad. And with that, we can segue into our issue with our guests. I'm sorry, sir, you had to endure all these other distractions as in Trinidad, because in your line of work, this ain't not an issue. In your line of work, that ain't an issue. Doubles pay out you when you hungry, you eat it.
On this program, we talk a lot of this program. This is the Third Empire program, and on this program, we analyze what is in the news. We don't write the news, but we certainly analyze what's in the news, and to a large extent, almost on a daily basis. I don't know, like we take a little recess this weekend, or is it that we were so engrossed in the bacchanal we didn't notice what happened? What do crime look like this weekend?
Well, I saw a police officer died in a...
Right? But on this program, what we do, we analyze
in an accident. Yeah, a road accident.
And what we do is we give solutions as to how we could remedy this situation. And crime is something that has always been on that's on the burner here every day. Right? Because to me, that is one of the things, apart from the people with no work and that kind of thing. And to me, all of that is a derivative of. But to a large extent, we look at crime, we look at the issues relative to crime, and in Trinidad and Tobago, the barometer we use for crime is murders. But we look at that, and we look at how we could address it, what we can do to address the situation of crime. Now, you being a former law enforcement officer, and you didn't only work in the police service.
Well, let Mr. James tell us. Yeah. Mr. James, tell the nation who is this Mr. James. They call you Smiley. How you get that name?
Well,
tell us.
Basically, I'm a simple man. My name is Dave James, better known as Smiley. Smiley was a name given to me some years ago. We was in school. I was in school.
What school is that?
Well, CUC was one of the places. CUC.
God. Yeah.
And we had a time to lime. And we have the men's dorm. We had the men's dorm and the females dorm. We were in the men's dorm. And it was time to lime. So we have a big veranda, and all the men come out at a certain time. And new men who now come in for the first semester, and others who were there before. And those guys were trying to find a name for me. they call me all kind of names. Spock.
Spock then.
Big nose, big eye, all kind of things.
Spock was from Space 1999, right?
Yeah. Spock was from that show, that Planet show or whatever. Yeah. And they try all names and I wouldn't budge. They say, no, that ain't working, but we try all kind. So I just continue smiling. All names they try. I just continue. You say, boy, a partner, my name, Lynn. She say, boy, it better we call you Smiley, boy.
So I hear thinking that you get in the barracks.
Nah.
You didn't get in the barracks.
So you went to CUC. How you end up in the police service, boy?
Well, I was a guy always looking forward to do something for my country. Right? I was a entrepreneur, I used to sell more pies.
What area?
St. Joseph area.
That's your area, like your hometown.
Yeah, hometown. Like I grew up there.
You grew up in St. Joseph. Which part of St. Joseph? It's big. Tell us.
Nelson Street.
Nelson Street.
I was in Nelson Street. Then I moved to La Saiva, Red Hill, La Saiva, in Maracas, St. Joseph.
Right.
And that's where I grew up.
Like your hometown. Right.
Yeah, hometown area. Originally, I was born in Diego Martin.
Oh.
And they go Martin, and from there.
You go up like St. Joseph.
And,
right.
Migrated all over the place, you know?
Right.
And what happened? I always a guy on the streets looking forward to doing something for my community.
Right.
We had a cricket side named Park Dreads. We used to play football, cricket, all kind of games. And what happened? I used to develop myself and going out there selling Moby, pie, anything that come my way. Start to. I play in football, I sell it. And in those times, everybody was part of the system. So whilst I playing, a man selling out my Moby for me. Selling my pie.
Don't do that now, you know. Don't even try.
It could be that based on where you are, you know.
All right.
Who around you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so then I started going to the security business, and I say, boy, I feel like I could make a contribution in the police service.
So you wanted to become a police officer?
At a certain point. Because I had a family, you know, my family started to get big, you know.
So.
My wife, my children, you understand? I seen things happening.
So nobody forced you? You didn't have a gun to your head?
No, nobody forced me.
Nobody in trick you and tell you look like you have a police face?
No. I encourage other fellas around.
Yes.
Other friends in the community. Hey, let me see if we can get in the police service now.
Okay.
And I started, mind you, when the first time I reached almost interview. Right. And in the interview, they asked me, well, what other things I could do? I tell them I could speak French. Vous parlez français, Mauvais? I tell them, yes, I could speak French. I could speak Pasqua. Ça qu'a fait, garçon. So they wasn't understanding me. You understand? They say, that's good. I say, well, if you'll need interpreters for French or Patois, I'll be a great one to do as much as I. At that time, they say, all right, they're looking good. You're looking good. They never called me.
Well, yeah, Mr. James, if you're too bright, you ain't getting in there, you know, you start bad.
No.
Second time you'll worry back.
Mr. James, you say too much there, you know. You go and take somebody work. He want to be an interpreter. But I might work.
So after that, you know, I joined in as a Special Reserve Police.
What year?
That was in 1990. Yeah, somewhere there.
91? 90?
Yeah, the cool one. Yeah,
so you wasn't one of them who take off your uniform and run to the cool?
No.
You joined 1990.
That happened?
What do you mean? Where you from, boy?
That happened?
Policemen. I want to be seen.
So 1990 you joined Special Reserve?
I had joined before that.
You joined before?
Yeah.
Okay.
I left.
You left, okay.
I got worked around the car. I'm a plumber.
Right, yeah, plumber.
I'm a licensed plumber.
Wow, Mr. James, you talking about plenty skill you call here, you know. I can't keep track.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna pay you anyway. You get no extra duty.
After that, you know, I left, I come back.
Right, go ahead.
I get through.
Yeah.
And I started as a part-time Special Reserve Police. I used to work St. Joseph Police Station. And me being a St. Joseph man and knowing the streets of St. Joseph and the environment and the environs.
All the time you was a bike man?
No, not yet. I'll tell you when I became a bike man. I used to go out we used to have a 4-hour patrol on evening time from 6 to 10. It was not only me, we had a team of other Special Reserve. When we come on duty, brother, and we go there, we had a foot patrol. Most of the patrols we were going on is foot patrol. We have our little baton, flashlight, and other things needed in your beat and your patrol. Your beat is the area where you're going to, right? Patrol, right? And that's how I started. I don't want to go into the history of this part, but that is how I started. I started knowing more because I went out on the street. I used to hear how the people used to talk about children and home and
problems at home and things like that. And then I enter into the community police full time. And that is when I became a bikeman, Mr. Madison. Yes, they were a training program for community police officers and a team of us.
So did you learn to ride bike, or you knew how to ride bike and
well, since it's the training, I learned. I used to ride bicycle.
All right.
But I learned to ride motorbike in the police service.
Okay.
Because there was a training program, and we went out there and we did a lot of training. Most at that time for community policing, all of us were special reserve police. All of us were special reserve police. We were trained by the regular police who was already in the service, and they were training us to ride the bikes. And then we went out, as a team. There were a great number of us, and we started the programs, and we started doing all different ways to curb certain areas, to certain crimes, right? And we went on and we developed little places and so on and so forth. And that's how I started in the community policing.
So being a member of the community and deciding to serve in said community, did you feel pressure at any time? Was it harder for you when you reflect? Normally they say, if you're from the community, better when we send you south, when nobody know you could get on bad and get rid plenty thing, and you could go home and go back to your normal life. Did you feel any pressure being from St. Joseph, having to police work in St. Joseph? They know you, you know them? Or was it a privilege in your view to serve your community?
I like the last part. It was a privilege. It wasn't nothing stressful or strenuous or afraid.
Yeah.
The people welcomed me because they was looking forward for that. It seems that was an action they wanted all the time.
Right.
Look smiley here, boy.
But
Smiley.
before I knew you, I heard a lot about you.
Look at that.
And
Look
that
at
was
that.
in them time I was in St. Augustine.
Yes, and I think I remember you live in St. Augustine.
Yeah, but
he was part of my community.
Yes. But I heard a lot
Mr.
about
Madison.
Mr. James, if you saw him in any compromising places,
boy.
don't tell us on air.
No.
If he was a naughty boy.
He's a good man.
He's a good man. Okay.
And we working in St. Joseph. Remember, my family, we live St. Joseph, Maracas, St. Joseph.
Yeah.
Most of my friends was in the area of St. Joseph, Tunapuna, Curep, these areas. And when I got that opportunity to work out, to go out there, it was a privilege. I tell you, people just used to come to me, talk to me, give me information, introduce their children to me, telling them what school they're going to, where they live, where they work. Oh, it was just beautiful.
But what made you that so respectable community police officer? Because I heard a lot of stories about you, and I saw certain things myself. And school over, in the evenings, all them strength from Curep and Five Rivers and St. Augustine and all that kind of thing, they're congregating by the terminal mall there and that kind of thing.
You saw that, Mr. Madison?
Everybody had to go home and Smiley Beach.
All right.
Take Shell Long and Smiley Beach. You remember that?
Yes, I remember. What happened? We, as a team of community policing, we used to put our heads together to find ways and means to get solution to certain things. For example, if there is, I just give a sports days coming up in Curep Secondary School, or any school, those schools would call on us. I had officers like, I just want to mention a few.
Go ahead, you go ahead.
Officer Hussein, we used to have competition between us when sports day come, because he had a team, I had a team, and I had Gomez. Gomez was my main partner, but he have left the service, right? And we had others from other areas, Bailey. We had one named Katsin Tong. We had Subik Singh, Husseini has passed, and many others, Miss Exteen. And I could go on and on and on and on.
Yes, you go ahead.
Yes, but what happened? We saw the problems and we put ourselves together as a team to solve those problems. So, Sports Day was a day where those children used to enjoy themselves. We were part of the enjoyment, right? We taught them how to march. When it's running time, the officer and I we ain't putting on no boots and we ain't putting on nothing off us. Boom, we in a race. And those children used to cheer. Hey, yes, sir, yes, sir. Smiley, come on. And that was a joy for the children.
Yeah.
So we realized that. So we say, okay, we're going to do other things. There was problem with children liming on the streets after school. In those days, had the shift system.
Right.
Morning shift, evening shift.
Huh.
So when morning shift, they think they could just stay around until evening
morning
shift.
shift going on in the evening.
Yeah.
And evening shift going on in the night.
Mm-hmm. So we started to work on those areas. And I was the man used to work between. Well, I used to go the distance. Although it wasn't my thing, I used to go the distance. While this one going further, I would go this from Sawan, Barataria. I used to go to those Barataria Secondary North and South. I used to go to Aranguez. You see, Aranguez was a school given real trouble with discipline. I went there, had a group, had a session with the school. The principal, I was known to all teachers and principals of those schools in the East-West corridor and other areas, right? I put myself there. And what I couldn't do, I give the work to other officers. Because we were from the Northern Division, but now, although we were from the Northern Division, which is the St. Joseph area heading to Arima and them areas, we still used to have other officers from different divisions helping us along the way.
Yeah.
It was a team effort. Right? So when we go to when there was a problem in Crep of children linemen, I realized that's a problem. We put I went on the streets. I heard parents saying, boy, them children like to lime, they ain't coming home. They ain't coming home and do their work. They have their homework to do there. I said, all right, we'll work on that. And from then on, I started going on the streets more. Less in the schools at that point in time and more on the streets, because the principal already spoken to me. Teachers speaking to me. I had my own diary with all names and churn, who doesn't attend school, breaking class, who didn't attend class, and all these things. So when school dismissed, I started by talking, hey, children, time to go home. That's the beginning, until it reached a stage, Mr. Matterson, where I just had to ride my bike, park it, or stop in a certain area, and just watch. And you'd see how those children just start to clear the streets. Mr. Smiley here, boy.
They just see the bike.
They just see the bike, or they hear, or somebody give them some information that I around, or the
bike
Smiley,
man.
the bike man there,
Yeah,
boy.
What made them respect you that way?
I showed respect to them. I loved them. I was being kind to them, although I was stern. I was kind to them. I never abused them or did them anything that would create a divide between me and them. It was a love. If I punish you today, I would hug you up and say, boy, you know something.
So you know their parents.
Yes, I get to know their parents. Now, mind you, all those fights you see happening in them schools nowadays, that couldn't happen in my time, in our time. When I visit a school, I'd find out all the fighters. All those who love to, you know, in those days, they had little gamblers.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the steps at these certain schools, right? I ain't got no school name.
Yeah.
And I would find out who are the gamblers. And I would go directly to them. And after that, I go to your home.
Coming home too?
Coming home.
Oh, good.
I telling parents, hey, what's happening? John James is a gambler. You just give him plenty money? No. We just give him money for snack. Well, it seems that he does have plenty money.
He working.
And so on and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And that problem was solved. Parents get to know what's happening to their son or their daughter in school. If there's a fight, I know the fighters. I'll go home again. Those children who break in class or break in beach or not going to school. Let me tell you a story. As I on that, there was this girl. I was in St. Joseph. Boy, I used to give the extra mile. Most of us, community officers at that time, used to go the extra mile. I'm going home, pack up my bike in St. Joseph, and I decided to walk home. In walking up the road, up in St. Joseph there by the Catholic Church, I see this child coming from the churchyard, fixing her clothes. Montauk uniform. I say, what? Montauk finished a long time. I approach. Hey, Officer Smiley, is you? I say, yes. What you doing here? I went in the church. I said, to do what? The church, I ain't see nothing, no activity happening in the church. Tell me something about the church. What you learn in the church? Nothing.
Like to stop him.
I said, all right. What do you have in the bag here? Your school books? Let me see the books. Just like that, you know, the Lord just, I don't know, talk to me. Bam, when I check the bags, is her clothes she put on, changed from whatever civilian clothes that she had, back into her uniform in the churchyard and heading home. I say, hey, what's happening? This had to stop. What you did? Riding Maxi during a period of time of school. And I said, all right, well, you know what's happening? I'm coming by your home.
Good.
Not tonight, tomorrow morning, bright and early. Make sure you're home. Tell your parents what took place, and I will be there. I'll give them the story if you don't. And this girl frightened, and she said, oh. I say, yes, you go ahead. And mind you, bright and early tomorrow, the next day,
Smiley motorbike.
I pack up on the roadway, walk down where she living and meet the parents and tell them what happened. They tell me, you want to do a little spanking for us? I said, no, not today.
They want you to do it.
Oh, not listening. When I heard the story, giving trouble into home, doing her work, bam. I went in school, find out what's going on in school. Nothing doing in school, doing her work. Nice girl, you know? Not paying attention to her school work. You understand? Next thing you know, the end of it all, I'll tell you. We put her before the court for uncontrollable child. Yeah. She ended up in St. Jude's. When the parents and them go visit, I'll listen to you, mom. Stories, you know, when you're in those places, they have those persons who train you, you know.
Yeah.
Especially girls, whoever they are.
Yeah.
Tell you have to be good. Show your parents you're nice. Yes, you're missing them. Ask them for ice cream and this and that. So when the parents come and they give me this story, I said, nah, leave her there. Let her do her thing. At time when the parents come to me crying, well, she was taken care by her aunt, not her biological mother. Mm-hmm. And that aunt came to me crying. Let us go back to the court and bring her back home. And I said, no, leave her there. The long and short of the story, they went, get her back and all again. right now she make about 7 or 8 children. But she's a good girl now. She have responsibility of taking care of her children. So these are things I used to work on, try to help people with. In the line of the schools, I have like to be on the ground. Went to the schools and do my best for the school children. I was a guy who used to take care. I went the extra mile and the police service didn't tell me to do that, I went on my own, buy books, uniforms, bags, send children to school. Those who not learning their work, I had a little homework section, either in the police station yard or on the side of the road. So when you come from school, I tell you, hey, pull up your bags. Let's do your homework. Whoever you are, I have to do their homework while I there. I check in every one of them. When I leave you, I come tomorrow in school. It's something you have to dedicate and love to do.
Yeah, I'm hearing consistency.
Yes.
I'm hearing consistency and dedication.
And dedicate. Thank you.
But the police service does not have that again.
Boy, I don't know what they have. I know they have a policing in school initiative. I don't know how they reach out, And the good thing about this, when it's not me alone involved.
Yeah.
I have the other officers. We call in one another for support. You understand? And in that support, we was united in dealing with those kind of problems that we were faced with. It wasn't just one way. No, we come, we talk, and we agree on a certain point, and that was it. And once we move it that way, problems will solve.
So, Mr. James, we have a serious crime issue. From your experience dealing with community police, dealing with primarily the school children at the earliest stages of intervention, do you see a link from your experience? We might not have the statistical evidence here, but do you see a link between juvenile delinquency at the school level and crime post-secondary school, post-school?
First of all, you have to know those children, those juveniles.
Yeah.
What their background is like. Whether or not they...
What's their disposition
at home? Yes, very important, You see the home? That's an important factor in a child's life. You know they are single parents sometimes. Some of those children are getting no love. They ain't getting nobody to guide them parents. That parent don't have no time to share the love with the child. They go in, they have different jobs to do, and they're more intent of doing the jobs rather than seeing about. So there'll be a lack towards that child. Girl or boy. You understand? When you have two parents seeing about their children, it's totally different. Either they pay attention, one has to pay attention to how they behave, how they going in school, what they do in school, and the other might have to be the workhorse, right? To see. So when you watch at all those issues that are taking place within the home and the school system, you have to find out whether or not that child was doing their work, if they paying attention to their teachers, their elders, whatever. You have to get that divide, it would be you and the society working together to find out what is those problems that those children have that are causing them to be juveniles and put them before the court. It's not just saying, because of this happened. I see they have a program when it's just started calling Deep something by the Minister of Homeland Security, where they look deep into why certain things happen. They're talking about deep, but you don't hear ministers or people talking about the spiritual aspect of a child's life, which is the key element for survival in this time, because the Bible speaks about a number of different things that will be happening in these times. And parents have to pay attention to their children's spirituality, their growth in their spiritual life. Right? So they have to send them to church, let them read the Bible, pray with them, have a family altar, and other little things will come in after. Well, their school, their home, their work, and all these things play a part in a child being a juvenile. If those things are not embedded in that child from small, or from the beginning, from before childbirth, there could be little problems stemming.
So you would say that the the real issue, the real how we can probably deal with crime is to deal with the youth in the way you would have dealt with it, you all would have dealt with it at that time.
At that time, the home. You have to go to the home, because you're hearing parents now say, that time for the children. At that time, don't give me no trouble. You hear they run them out a certain way. But when you have your child, you must pay attention to your child. I'm a father, I have children, I have grandchildren, and I always used to, despite all the work I'm doing on the streets, my attention must be on my children, because I already have them. So after I seen all those things are happening, I had to give my children certain guidance in order for them to go forward. And I thank God today that they are going that direction. The direction of being disciplined, a prayerful life, a spiritual life, a life where you express yourself. When children have problems, you must let them at some point in time learn to express themselves. I have a problem, I want to talk, I want this to happen, I would like some assistance. And sometimes you just hear it in their voice and their ways, their demeanor, and the way they behave. You just see it happening. All what you have to do is just take a little time and say, yes, come, talk to me.
So how did your career end in the police service?
Let me tell you. Now, you must have a retirement age. I reached my retirement age, Mr. Matters.
Good answer.
Retirement age.
Yeah.
Because, a lot will know you, and there was a time when there was an incident where you were shot.
Oh, yes. And
after that, I don't think you went back in the police service, and that's what I was alluding to.
Okay.
Because that time I remembered when you and I were good.
Very good friends.
Very good during that period, but I wasn't around in that area. And when I heard that a police officer, a bike man, was shot in Curep, I started calling around. Because Smiley and I used to lie, man. We used to party and thing.
Oh, yes, Mr. Matos.
When I heard a certain bike man was shot in Curep, I said, and they said the man like he dead. I said, what?
To God be the glory.
And that was a day that I remember that day very, very good. I called him and I heard it was Smiley that he was shot.
Yeah.
And I think not just me, but all who knew him felt saddened that day.
Yes.
Wow.
Right?
Yes.
And the gentleman, what happened to that gentleman that shot you? What happened to him?
Yeah, well, there was a robbery taking place in a pharmacy called Complete Care Pharmacy in Crep. Now I know, you see, as a community man, now I was working court and process at that time, I finished the community, because let me just close off by on the community side. A goodly police commissioner made a statement that all police are community police officers. For you to be a community police officer, you must have patience. You must have love. You must have kindness, care for the people. You must be able to communicate. And you get it. Are all police officers so?
Well,
is that a question I just
no, we don't think so. We talk about that on this program all the time.
Yeah, you understand? But mind you, the police service is a good place to be, you know. It's a good place to be. You learn a lot. And there are things that you could do with your fellow officers that will help build the police service and build the community. But it seems that there's a lack somewhere. I don't want to go into that area, you know? But however, I was going to tell you. So from community service, community policing, I went to the court and process branch where I was a bike man again, serving subpoenas and things. But I still continue working in my community. I used to work in the northern division. I worked southern, and then they put me back northern. And I used to work in that area. And once that area was there for me to work in, I used to work in it. And that fateful day, there was a robbery taking place in Crep. Now, mind you, from the time I reached, I am going, I was cleaning up the streets, taxis, maxis. It don't matter who you are, looking out for children to send them home. I was going towards the said pharmacy to say hello, you know, give greetings to all the business people. They need, you know what I mean? That's the normal thing I would do.
Are we talking about the southern main road?
The eastern main road.
Okay.
Eastern main road in Crep. The Crep Junction.
Okay.
Eastern
on the eastern main road side.
Riverside Road.
Okay.
And eastern main road.
They have a ATM there now.
Right.
Yeah, well, they have ATM. Well, Castle on the other side, KFC.
Right. Okay, so right on that corner.
Yeah, right in that corner there was the Complete Care Pharmacy.
Right.
So I walk in towards the pharmacy to go. A gentleman tell me, hey, that man giving me trouble and inside this place there. But I don't want to go into the case that much because it's still alive. And so I say, well, no problem. Giving trouble. Nobody to give trouble around here, boy.
Is the sheriff?
No, not the sheriff. People don't give trouble in Crep. You understand?
All right.
Yes. Only to find, well, while he's walking towards the thing, the door, this guy came out. And when he see me run back in, I say, is the man that must giving the man trouble? You understand? So I bounced up right, as soon as I open the door, he right there by the camera, stand there. I say, what going on there? Everybody all right? Everything cool? Yeah. And he watching me and he backing away a little bit. So I about to raise my hand. To say, hey, I ain't seen no, everybody, what going on? I just said, boom. Oh, that mercy. You understand?
Yeah.
I got shot. Took out my firearm. And the impact of the bullet, one of them, thank God, I was wearing my...
Your vest.
Yeah. The impact...
Your PPE, they call it.
Yeah, boy, it's a good thing
for
a police officer to be wearing their... Yes.
Yeah.
Their life jacket.
Right.
Yeah, that's
yes.
in that regard, right? And with that impact, remember I came through a door here, right?
Right.
I end up passing through a show window here. When I got the impact of the bullet on the vest.
Right. It show you.
Yes. Went through a show window. And in going through the show window, I understand I went through like in slow motion. I thank God the whole glass broke. Another glass cut me. So I end up outside the place now. Right? I'm outside. And I hear people say, look, somebody get shot, boy. When I tell you people, like, once they heard that I was going towards there, and plus, they heard that Smiley around, people just always look out for me.
Yeah.
To see about the children, the streets.
Right.
You understand? So, with that impact, I came backwards. I started to stagger. I see blood. I see my hand. I started to say, boy. So I take my firearm. I point it to the direction where I came. I say, today, boy. Today. Either I did or you did the man who shoot me. Waiting for him. Within that, I started to run across the road because my bike was parked on the eastern main road, on the southern side of the eastern main road, near to the Priority Mall.
Right.
And boy, with that now, people just started to crowd me, you know what I mean? They didn't give the opportunity for if anybody had to come towards me to shoot. And as I watching at this, I saw like the guy came out of the door and he ran east along that side to the Riverside Road and wherever, and left and gone. And within that time, I running towards my bike. I said, I'll jump on that bike and ride to the hospital. I got weak, dropped down, the gun fell off, and I thank God for all those wonderful people. I was surrounded by a number of people who wanted to put me in their vehicle no matter whatever. I understand that a Ministry of Agriculture vehicle was on the bus route and the driver just said, Smiley, get shoot. He turned around the vehicle and come on the Eastern Main Road. And that is the vehicle I went in. My wife was waiting for me on that day. She too joined in and we all went to the hospital. I spent some time there. The matter was before the court. Is before the court. There are things I want to say about that, but
you can't.
I'm going to talk about the guy himself. This guy who shot me, he was arrested not too long after my incident.
Yeah.
He was before the court and everything. That man get bail about 3 or 4 times after my incident. You see how the system works? He got bail, police went by him, they got guns and ammunition, he get that. He was arrested for other thing, robbery. He got bail and he come back out. Matters pending in the court. He got bail and he come back out. The last time he got bail, he shot a police officer in a restaurant and dead. So he's now inside for murder.
They kill our next police officer.
They next police officer.
Wow.
Yes. So these are the things that, I face, but I still enjoy the work. I love it. I love my people. Up to this day, I would walk the streets and people would tell me, boy, we need you out here. We need people like you, like them police. I don't want to go what they say, but
yeah,
you is the man for the people. You is the man for the children. I say my time was gone.
Yeah.
You understand? These are things that were in the past. But it still has an impact on community, members, children, parents, of how I used to have the streets whilst I was working. Up to this day, people that see me, school children who was in my day, in their time, going to school, thank you, sir. You came in my school and lecture. And you tell us to be a police officer. I'm a police officer now. I'm a attorney now. I'm in the defense force. I'm in different areas. I'm a tradesman, sir. You talk about trade. I'm a tradesman, sir. And they are telling their children, see, this man is a man, teach me discipline. It can be worse. Prisoners who got locked up in different stations. When I come in and they hear Smiley here, they bawling out my name. Say, Smiley! I come into them. They want this, they want that. I would go and talk to them and tell them their life have to change. Let me make a change. If they want something to eat, I'll give them get something to eat, something to drink. I'll get something for them to drink. Just because I wanted to make a difference in their lives.
And that is so important.
Yeah. So when we come back, we will talk about after that, and what we can do, what that example, and what the state could get out of that to arresting the crime situation.
Okay then, no problem.
So you're on 91.9 FM, you're on the Third Empire, and we're going to a short break, but we've been speaking to Mr. James, aka Smiley.
Yes,
and we're going to hear more about his police experience. You stay tuned.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
Is a whole lot of flavor wrapped up in a twist. Some of them try to rap, but they don't rap like this. With crispy KFC tenders and lettuce and carrots and shredded tortilla embedded, perfect wherever you headed. Dripping with that creamy mayo and that mambo sauce. Let me tell them one more time to get my point across. It's a craveable, crunchable, movable, functional, flavorful meal that your taste buds must endorse. KFC, crunch twist, crunch twist. None of them, they don't make them like this.
Introducing KFC's Crunch Twist, a flavorful wrap with a delicious difference for just $29.95. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Join us.
Strictly local radio show, blazing the best positive hits out of TT.
Hottest radio show. Welcome. You are now locked in.
Every Saturday, 6 to 8 p.m., blazing the very best in Trinbago music and more, sending the heartbeat of the Twin Islands straight to the world.
This service is a massive communication product that aims to provide a new media platform for local TT entrepreneurs.
You're now locked into one of the hottest radio shows. Send us your voice notes or call in live and rep your district. Whether you're in East, West, North, South, or Sweet Tobago, this is your show, your sound, your culture. Hottest radio show. Strictly local, hosted by the one and only DJ Flex 868. Don't miss it. Every Saturday, 6 to 8 p.m. Only on the streets 91.9 FM. The vibes, the culture, the sound of Trinbago.
We blaze all the best in TT. Hashtag rep your district.
KFC onion rings, bring the sauce, come to the crunch like a boss, Add a ring, show me onion ring, in your ring, ding. Show me your onion ring, it's a ring, ding. Yes, it's a brand new thing called onion ring. Level up your order. Onion ring, chicken sandwich full of flavor. Add a ring to your twister. Somebody better go and tell the neighbor. Add a ring, show me onion ring, in your ring, ding. Show me your onion ring, it's a ring, ding. Yes, it's a brand new thing called onion ring.
Show off your ring at KFC with the new onion ring chicken sandwich for $34.95, or get a regular side of rings for just $15.
Upgrade your main meal and your side piece too. KFC onion rings now on the menu. Add a ring in every ding ding. Add a ring, KFC onion rings.
KFC, show me your ring.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Okay, listeners and callers, we are back, and one of our guests on the show today, or I should say the guest on our show today, is Mr. Dave James, aka Smiley, and you would have heard, if you were listening before, you would have heard a story, how he kept the peace on the East-West corridor, and what he would have done with, and his suggestion for a crime-free Trinidad and Tobago. Let's take this call. Good evening, caller.
Yes, hi. This is the same gentleman again. You see everything that Mr. James and Smiley. I can attest to that. No, I was never on a retrial. I might get my little clout and thing, but to say there had to be fall before the court of law, no. But there are times he will pull up on us. But you see what he did to me, and as we saying that now, you carry me back. Mr. James or Smiley, let's say Smiley, you carry me back because you would have had a smile, but you were firm with your smile.
Yes.
And you came because that's your job. You as a law enforcer, as a police officer, because my father was the same thing. You would come with a smile, but you're very firm with it. So at the end of it, everything you said, and I'm just reaffirming you, and to me, we need to bring back that. How to do it? I mean, I don't know with this new day and age we are living in, with the evolution of technology and whatever. But tradition, community service, community training, community everything, family. We had to get it back. Because yes, Smiley did that. I remember once, you would laugh at it. After playing football, watching Kira play, Mercy Barta, who it was, big fight take place out there. Well, I mean, just normal tit for tat schoolboy fight. Fight end up in the police station. And a stocky East Indian officers ball, they're crazy. Well, they want to come in a school, they want to come inside the police compound to fight. Some cloud pass, and then everything done, everybody good. They didn't rough us up. I mean, there are times you all were forceful. But no, it was, yeah, he did it. And I mean, yes, I got the message when I heard it, and thank God today you survived. And praise God for that. But at the end of the day, I think we need to now, you need to carry back. And if it is you are involved in that community service, this is just me as a parent, I'm also a grandparent as well. What we need to do, call out the people. Let's see if we can come back. Let's see if we can use the traditions and see how we can put it together with what we have today. Because we need it. Because you're telling me a 19-year-old going out there,
true,
do what he or she had to do. I tell you, I can remember I went to see St. Augustine play Arima in the Velodrome. I came back home after 6. The game ended up St. Augustine played is a semi-final football match. I came back home after 6. My mother tell me straight up, you can't go no football again. As boy trainer, I couldn't go do certain things. Because they had his perception as girls. Is what made my mother lift the ban and say I could still go football is because I said, Mom, read extra time. The game ended up in penalties. Because far she concerned 90 minutes.
And she timed you.
She timed us very well. The boss bring us back to the comfort and she timed us. And that's how it was. I have 3 children. I was playing man young at 19, my first child, but I thank God where they are today. None of them. And they never gave me that problem too. But as again, it's how we as parents do what we have to do. But still, we as parents, we are leaders too. So somewhere along that we are fall short. So I don't have a problem. If my number pop up, I can save it and let's see if I can come together and I will work together with you. I mean, because I born and grew in St. Augustine area, in the back of Massey stores.
Okay.
So if that could be, I don't have a problem. If my number show up on the phone there, feel free. You can take a note of it, Mr. James.
Yeah, will do.
Yeah, if you are seeing it, you can take a note, and you might see my picture if the face brings a memory back. But no problem. So, locked on listener, I'll say thank you for your service. You are a former serviceman, just like my father. Thank you. Every organization has its bad apples, but you all are here for our job to do, and you all are there. We have to show you all that respect, and we have to work with you all. So, as again, I will say thank you because you didn't have to come down on me, but your presence also had an impact on me. And thank God where I am. I'm glad for that.
Right.
Excellent.
So,
thank you.
So, locked on, as I say, I think my number should pop up there.
Yeah. We've seen it. We've seen it. He will get it. Yeah,
take a note and feel free to give me a call any day and time.
Nice.
So, locked on and listening.
So, thank you. So, Smiley, I don't think much, well, some have changed because the police to a large extent get a lot of flack these days. I mean, we have a lot more crime than we had in those days, and that was just about 10, 15 years ago. Right? We have a lot more crime and, that kind of thing. Now, a lot more murders and that kind of thing. And, murders is what we measure crime by in Trinidad and Tobago for whatever reason. But you all created a certain kind of balance on the East-West corridor with what you do. I remember there was a few like you, but you was the more prominent one. You was around, when you see the bike, that white bike, Smiley around. And you ain't sticking. You're watching around because you could get Smiley will take you home and you might get a tail cut.
I'll try my best, yeah.
But that was really, really, really a time when, to a large extent, things were done a little different in Trinidad and Tobago. Today, the police is somehow, I don't know if it is the administration of the police service or if something has changed. And what you think have changed in they still have the community policing in the way that you all administrated it?
No, they have a community service secretariat, I think. You see, to be community policing, you have to. I could tell that to anybody, commissioner or what, you have to be in your community. You have to know the community. You have to work with the community. We used to work with the community. Let me tell you something. Sometimes when I went in a community and somebody wants a little door fix or their light bulb change, I would change it. I would fix their door.
So plenty men you say garage at you then?
No, that was not one thing. That was a service, police service. Oh no, it was a service provided by the police.
By the police service.
Yeah, which was me.
Oh, right. So
right. It wasn't. The police didn't tell me to do that, but as a community police, you would see the needs that had to be met,
so you
and you try. Yes. So.
You went over the community and you would be able to solve problems. The police will be able to get certain kind of intelligence and that.
Correct.
On the ground.
And here, people will be free to talk to you. Now, it's difficult now, because of certain elements that came into the police service that created certain things.
And I got to say that.
You understand?
Elements that came into the police service.
And with that now, people are a little frightened or don't trust, as you would say, giving information to the police. Right?
Because as Ronaldo was saying a couple of days ago, long time, you see what you say about how children used to adore and admire you all.
What do you mean?
Children afraid police now because it's a different time. And you're hearing so many things about police, and it's either you don't want, you're non-cooperative, you're afraid of them, you're feeling like they're trying to box you in, they're trying to do wickedness. That's how people see police now, as opposed to in those times.
Now, it could be done. There are police officers who are willing to work hard. They are willing to work with the community. But to work with the community, you must commit yourself a little more. You understand? Nowadays, you don't see much foot patrol. Right? You see things have changed because of the dynamics of the crime and people and things like that. Long time we had less resources, but we had more impact.
Well, you would have in the end of your story there, before we went on the break, you would have indicated to a large extent, and it is something sometimes the public feel. You were shot by a bandit, and that man got bail. He came out. He went and he did other gun crimes. He was picked up by police again. He was charged, arrested and charged. He came out on bail. He did it again. He came out on bail. And then he ended by killing another police officer.
That's right.
For which he's doing murder right now. No.
He's inside for murder. I think I know the trial has begun if it's finished.
That shouldn't happen. That should not have happened.
It should not have happened because similar crimes. How you could get bail for similar crimes in our system? That's allow you. They just tell you you're not proven. You're not guilty until you're proven guilty in a court of law. But you could get bail.
And you could go out and do
through the justice system and go and commit the same thing over and over again.
So you have a lot of revisitism and a lot of situations where people just see this whole system as once you have the money to get the bail or whatever, come on, get that freedom, do what they have to do and live and survive.
That's right. You know what I mean? In that regard.
Right.
You understand? But generally speaking, police does work, you know. You understand? As I tell you, you see, the community is the important factor.
Right.
The home.
And that's where I want to go.
The home.
That's where I want to
is the important. Is the main
That's where I want to go.
Area
because to a large
of
extent,
our
to a
community.
large extent, and I'm glad this was a very good intervention here. Is that we had you and you was able to bring certain things to the public, because to a large extent we've always said on this program, you can't just deal with crime by dealing with the symptom, dealing with what happened. You have to go to the cause. You have to go to the base of
Yes,
it.
yes.
Right? And if you go to the base of it, we have a caller here who always talk about community policing. Why the police not in the communities? I'm surprised he didn't call yet for the evening. Probably he called already. But the thing is, if what you said there really is really the roadmap for solving the problem, we have to deal with the children, because they grew up into the criminals. Right?
Well, yeah, that's a good answer. I like how you answer your own self.
So the thing is, what you just said, as to how we had to come back to that.
That is right.
We had to come back to that, because
you must have police in the community.
The police must know the community, because if the police know the community.
Let me tell you something without cutting you. I knew where Miss G's shop was. I knew where Miss Eileen lived. I knew where Montaube Junior Sec was. I knew all the children who given problems.
Mm-hmm.
The street, I'll call her street, St. Joseph. I knew where Tom, Dick, Harry, this one, that one live.
Mm-hmm.
And if I want certain information, I know who to go to. Because they are craving, they are crying out, come, boy, I have something to tell you. You know what I mean? Come. You know, so and so happen. Well, I'm a street man, so my information is my information. You understand? And it goes nowhere else. And it seems that's where some certain directives and directions.
So you can easily go and deal with that problem, talk to the person, or diffuse a situation that is developing, or even
in those times, man,
intervene.
That's right. When
a law enforcement.
Yes, when I intervene in a situation in my times, that is it. They had a twin brothers going to Crep. They used to call me the one-man army, but it wasn't a one-man army, it was a God's army. Because God was the man around me. When I intervene, for example, if there's be a fight, and the word goes out on the street that Smiley is here, the two parties who want to fight just come to me, you know. They come in, so what was the problem? So. And that man give me a little talk, and he feel bad. I say, all right, I'm leaving you all here for 1 minute or two. I'm coming back. Make sure you all make up. When I come back, talk to me. And I leaving them there. I say, all the crew that not involved, leave. You understand? When they leave, I come back. Why is they leaving? I leaving it, or they clear in the streets, so I leaving them there to resolve the issue between themselves, and they have means to resolve the issue as youth men.
And anytime they fight.
No, they couldn't fight. They could not fight because I'm there. I told them to resolve the issue of fighting, and they could not fight. If they had a problem so bad, I would take all their information and get to their home and fight out why Jojo like to fight so much. Is the parents fightable? I mean, if they like the fight, is there fighting going on in the home? I'll go by, why that boy so cool? How he coward? I would know why. Well, my son or daughter, I tell them when if anybody interferes, do fight, do thing. Not to say they coward, you know, but you get the little information also why. But most of the time, with my part, those children wouldn't fight. They'd love this. After that, they hugging one another. Nice.
And that's the impact you all had.
Yes. I call my partner. I have a partner. He used to work with me. At time he disciplined a boy. He plain saying everybody understand, but he want to give we a little thing. Give him a little discipline. Not
Yeah, that's out.
a little discipline you get.
let me take this caller. Good evening, caller.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I get on to your listeners. You know, I hearing some sentiments from this past police officer. And the thing is not sentiments that we're hearing from the current police service. And it's something that we will continue to call for on this program, which is police being the people who really run in the communities, more or less, for want of a better phrase, right? You see how this gentleman talk about QF and St. Augustine and these kind of things is more or less like he was the community leader in that area. Is not this one, that one, and this one running here and 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or whatever. It's not that. And I don't know why the service or whoever is in charge of the service not looking at attacking it in that way, right? You could shoot out, you could kill an ideal. The only how to deal with what is taking place, as I say, you have to go to the root cause of the issue. And unless we treat with that, the cycle will continue. Because if you don't identify if the problem is at home or wherever the problem is, how can you treat with it? You'll wait until after the fact, and we have to treat with this cycling thing where the justice system hardly ever get things right, or is not quick enough to ensure the safety of other people from becoming victims. It is ridiculous that we continue to have this nonsensical approach as it relates to policing and expecting anything different. The police need to get their act together, put on whatever type of events in communities and take over the communities, or you could be comfortable calling a place a hotspot. And we had the dogs of war. So the politicians and them like to label them. You all can go and take charge of a community, and the man say you will know who are the people who are most likely the housebreakers, who are the people who selling drugs.
And caller, you don't need no state of emergency to do that. You don't need no special laws to do that. The police have the power to do that.
You don't need none of these things that they try to implement. You need for that. We already have a number of laws existing, and the police have a number of powers available to them. If they only try to operate along the lines of what this gentleman is outlining, we will see so much change and so much progress in this country. We would want to believe if it's a magic one that has been waved. Because it makes no sense. You're taking the police service and you have them in schools. It really hasn't treated with the violence. Is discipline these children need? Which I thought these programs like MyLat and all these different things, you give in trouble, no problem. School is not for that. Come up here, you get some training, whether you have to wake up in the morning and tote water, you understand, and these kind of things, early o'clock and this, so you get discipline and understand it have consequences for your actions. But then again too, when we have, as the gentleman said, certain elements entering into the police service, and the police service not concerned as much as the normal citizens out there, you will have things like they're trying to differentiate the difference between a municipal police and a regular police. You will have officers who are supposed to be fighting crime by taking things off the streets, thieving it out of the station. You will have officers stealing their own vehicles, trying to defraud some insurance company, and a number of different things. You have officers committing larceny on Karen Clark premises, and instead of the police service treat with it, you have sometimes leaders coming out and say he was trying to secure politicians' name. When we watch a video and see clear deviations from how police are supposed to engage a situation, they want to tell you there is not no police, there is not this, but the law is there for anybody to familiarize themselves with. And I just going back to this kind of silly issue before I come off, which is the actions shown by the police officers in that moment in time there was not required. It showed no sort of following the proper process to engage a situation, especially if you trying to tell the public that it was hostile. So the way how you run out without taking any cover, protecting yourself, the body language is speaking volumes. And anybody who is in that line of work that is honest, like the gentleman sitting down next to you, can clearly tell you what you see on that is no way for police to approach a situation. Because what about if, let me say, Kaya and Joshua is guilty, right? Speculating. What about if they had persons in that vehicle under duress? Is it that how we treat with people who are held under duress or in captivity?
Correct.
We just open fire regardless of what is taking place. And people at the top is not upset as the majority of the nation. They try to find a way to cover it up than to treat with it. And that is the only how the police service will begin to look healthy once more. You have to treat with the issue. You want to cover it up and rotten on the inside. Thanks for allowing me, gentlemen.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. So, clearly, there's a need for what we would have heard by this particular police officer or ex-police officer. Let me take this next call. Good evening, caller.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm in the morning, and he parked by the very same o'clock. And there was a policeman parking bike and walk around the street, park up his bike, gather them up, and walk them from Sawa to school. And when the group get bigger, he jump on the bike and he gather all of them and carry them down the road. Or he pull up a maxi and he put all of them in a maxi and send them home. It was respect. We have lost that, Mr. Madison. We are in a position where the American president, if he comes out, is about to be impeached for the views of our prime minister, kill them deadly, drugs on the sea. So we didn't sign on to the International Criminal Court because we had the same story like we have with the CARICOM Court of Justice. They didn't like how the man was re-elected or whatever. Right? So we didn't sign on. Because Israel name called, Trump name is now called. Right? And we had an American ambassador for Trinidad and Tobago just was in the American Congress going to get appointed. So she's under, what do we call her, interview for the job. And a man is asking or telling her, you know, we have to say something he asked her. He said, you know, we have to say kudos to Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Matheson, for helping us in the apprehension of the Venezuelan president. Hey, Mr. Matheson? So is that man a madman, Mr. Matheson? Is that a madman? The next day, the Prime Minister jump out and say, no, that didn't happen. But them is Americans, them saying that, so who mad? So we, Mr. Matheson, as a group of people here, can't go nowhere. Because I have a commissioner of police tell me the radar is going to help them find the drugs in the Caroni swamp, Mr. Matheson. As a big intellectual man, if you come to tell the population that you are the CB as real fools, Mr. Matheson, and how do you see us? And here what's going on. You hear that gentleman explain? He going home. He was a SRP, you know, Mr. Matheson. He was, this morning, I heard the news, a 22-year-old or a 23-year-old police officer in Mayaro was held because the firearm went missing and somebody returned it. They ain't saying who, if he returned it, if he went home with it, how he had. All they're saying, the police will take actions against. That is where we reach, Mr. Matheson. Because when we put a man that, how to put it, is totally incompetent of the job. And I have a commissioner of police who seemed to be very, you know, they used to call Urla a PNM. How would you describe this present commissioner? We put, you hear what that man described it? He would go to the home. There are no lock up for no children, you know. The child riding a maxi, that was a normal thing, Mr. Matterson, in my time. Children come out, change their clothes, and jump in a maxi. I hated. You see this thing they call conductor on maxis? My children in riding that at all. A conductor was like, how to call him? What used to call them thing long time? A pimp. A conductor on a maxi was like a pimp at one time. Especially prone children. When I have a man doing that kind of job and I have all of a sudden, you hear how he dealing with that? He going, oh my mommy. So we put our police in school. You know what they tell them? Lock them up. Now I'm locking them up. But before, I could have sent them in the youth camp, get some training, something to rehabilitate them. That ain't happening now, ain't? But it's the same people telling you how black people under pressure. But it's the same people squeezing the same black people to tell you that all the crime is in African communities, which are so-called PNM communities. I say, well, if that is the case, and you all know what is the problem, then it's easy to solve. But instead of that, it looks like I'm going and get some containers, what they call them, mobile police posts, to drop down in certain constituency to solve the problem. Instead of there is intervention. You understand my point? Instead of they operate like how that gentleman used to operate, it had that again, you know. It's lock all you up, all you behave, all yourself, because here Alexander described we as a race that seems to be how he put it? How he put it? Coming extinct. How could a commissioner, how could a member of parliament could describe a particular race of people coming the day before Emancipation Day in such a way? All of we just sit down here and nobody ain't calling for Alexander to go. But we was calling Hines must go, moderator. As you I hear all the talk, you know, just recently there was boasting to the end of 2025 employment at 8,000. I say, understand, that's not 8,000 could be when you send home 20,000, when you make up 50,000 people. So they employ 8,000 and send home 50,000. Today the CSO is telling me 6,000 gone home. But the people who make it noise is PNM people. So I had to point out them. What makes them a PNM person who make noise in the thing when they say the Prime Minister ain't coming in the Emancipation celebration? What make them PNM person? Because they're African? I said I must see the group of some of those people must see some of the people who get fired within the last 3 months from the 6,000, Mr. Matterson. Why can't be that? Eh? All of a sudden this conversation become a racist conversation. Because I tell them, why should you have a Indian celebration along Emancipation? I was a racist. I don't want unity. I don't want that. But I was having a barbecue for the Wali, and them pressure going up. And they're still singing that song. How was it? I must join them, but they mustn't join me, you know, Mr. Matterson. I tell them, might be the same ship, never the same trip. You was paid, I was whipped. But the difference is I was here before you. So I hear a man who's a teacher tell on a radio station today, the Hindu culture or the Indian culture is going to wipe out the African culture and Trinidad and Tobago if we don't look out. I don't need to wear jackshishi to know that I'm African. Every day I wake up, if somebody ain't tell me of their kind, when I look at my skin and I comb my hair, I know who I am. Right, and next thing about have a slave master name and a following a religion that is not mine. Well, boy, when I look at history now, when you look at YouTube, they're telling me that Jesus Christ is black. So then if that is the case, then I have no problem, eh, Mr. Matterson? Enjoy the evening.
Good afternoon, Mr. Marcusson and the whole veteran post officer for all good service you do for 20 years. I said all that pay protocol, I don't know. You officer come to bring proper policing in the community to help the younger generation. You come to preach all that nonsense in here about who said this and who said that, all that kind of thing. We want betterment for the youth. You officer like to come back, put your boots on the ground and go in them rural communities and them and open more summer camp and this camp. Remember a long time we used to go the church, they will call it. Like how August holidays they started summer camp, started police to be coming in the communities and teaching the children football and all them kind of things. That we want betterment for the children and then that kind of rich talk and they did that for the politicians and them man. We looking to save our nation, too much of the children dying out. But I give you a break now. It's that time for that. Come next year and close that election, you can come and spread them kind of talk. Mr. Marcusson, you police officer, let me show you safe, man. Bless.
Thank you, KFC. Yeah, this evening we come, full circle with a lot of discussions we've been having because we continually talk about arresting crime in Trinidad and Tobago and some of the things that we can do. And now we have you, and a lot of times we give us solutions. The issue of dealing with the crime from the genesis, which to a large extent has to do with the young people and from children, from school, right? We talk about the education system a lot. But here you are today, and you are giving us a ball by ball, maybe history lesson, but not, I wouldn't say history lesson, but a clear path as to what we can do to arrest this situation. And maybe there's a particular caller, I didn't hear him this evening, but a particular caller that called and always talk about the need for community policing. And sometimes I myself think maybe in this new era with AI and everything, that there might be other things that we could do. But there's nothing like the human touch. And you see what you was doing? I think we need some of that back in Trinidad and Tobago. In every community, they should have police officers like you to do what you would have done. Because to me, if the police know everybody by name collectively, then it will be easier to understand where they are, who might be, where the miscreants are, and how we could solve that problem.
And that is true. Because there are police officers who knew or who knew the kind of work I used to do. In the station, out of the station, retired or non-retirees. There are the young ones who came in. And I trained them. They used to go out with me on another patrol and they used to see how the people approaching and how I would approach and how we would talk and how they would talk to me and how I would talk to them and get information. And
there's mutual respect too.
That's right.
It's mutual respect. If you are, depending on, I remember a time a policeman stopped me and taking me a ticket.
Yeah.
And when I got that ticket, I took that ticket with grace because the policeman spoke to me. He wasn't like, get out your vehicle, my documents.
Right.
He explained everything.
That's good.
He explained everything, why I will give it the fixed penalty notice, what it did, and why it is necessary to give you a ticket for this and that kind of thing. And when he was finished, I took my ticket with grace.
Look at that. That's good.
So
That's
you said something earlier on about communication.
Yeah, it's important. Very
Police
important.
need to be taught how to communicate with the public. Because people are becoming very, 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 very antagonistic, very, very intolerant to the police. And some may say that is a bad thing. It is a bad thing, but the police could fix that.
That is something that could do a major good for the police.
Yeah, I don't know if it's training or what, but
they have the academy where they just train them. I don't know. They do get training in, I think, communication and how to answer a phone call or talk to somebody.
Yeah,
but
how to answer a phone call, but how to deal with, you know, a person who might be, you know, going overboard, who might be dealing with taking it to the next level, who might be resisting arrest in a particular kind of way, and that kind of. You had to learn how to deal with the public, because some people would some people react to you based on how you act at them. You know,
at some point in time, you will face a little aggression in dealing with certain persons, right? And there are steps that you could take towards that time, according to the situation. You understand? Rather than let it escalate to. But nowadays, tell you what I'm seeing now, there's a lot of interference by outsiders. When police doing their business, they jump in.
That's a crime. No, I think there's still any police.
That's right.
I think that's
getting themselves involved in something that's not their business. Yeah.
Move on.
There are times that the police have to be aggressive, but in a gentle way. There are times they had to put out their force. There are times that they could be subtle. It all depends on the situation at the point in time.
I want to ask you a question.
Right?
You saw the video with the Samuel video. Had an opportunity to see that video where the police chase ended with a car running off the road, and the guy putting out his hands out of the vehicle, and the car was shut up and he died. You saw that? You didn't see that video?
I didn't watch it.
Oh.
I heard about it. I didn't watch it.
Well, what you think? What you thought about that whole incident?
Well, it's a police matter now. It's before the court, so I ain't really want to get into that matter. Let it go before the court and let everything be done through the court. You know what I mean?
But you all were trained to how were you trained to deal with situations like that?
Situations like?
Well, you chasing a car. There was no evidence of the person shooting at the police. In the frame we saw the car crash, a man and a woman in it, and a man clearly put his both hands out of the car. Why will you empty a clip?
I don't know the originality of that matter, right? It's the crash, wherever that happened, is the crash at that point in time. But there could have been the other part of the whole story.
I agree. There could be another part. But what I'm talking about, what we saw, what the public saw is that the car crash, the gentleman put his hands out of the car, and the police came subsequent to that and started shooting up at the car. So, which is one of the things that would have raised a lot of questions by the public, because a lot will say, well, what happened before happened, right?
Now, remember, it's a continuum, eh? Remember that.
We know that.
That is a case that it was a continuum. That wherever happened there, it didn't happen just so.
I understand.
It's a continuum from wherever they started, and that's where it ended.
Okay,
but to see certain aspects of that situation, I'm unable to say, well, what, and only watch a video to the end of the thing.
Well, the public is unable to say that too.
Yeah,
but what was really, for me, what was really mind-boggling to me was that we didn't see nobody shooting back. And in fact, nobody, in my opinion, it was impossible for anybody to be shooting at the police when the car crashed. Maybe let me give the police the credit. Maybe it might have had shooting on the highway coming down the road, right? But when the car crashed, there was nobody shooting, and a man put his hand out in war. When a man raised a white flag, according to the Geneva Convention, you can't kill him when he's a prisoner of war. So a man put his hand out. Why would you? The two hands out, you clearly seen visibly. His two hands are out. Why would you shoot at him?
I must look at that end where you talk about there at some point in time. But the police had to do what they had to do.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with that.
And there's nothing I could go further on this aspect relative to that particular video. Because it's just a video we saw to determine if that was this and that and that and that and that. However, in investigation has finished, the matter is before the court.
The matter is before the court.
Yeah, and we see what's happening.
It just played with my logic. Because I mean I saw what I saw, and if the video to me is I didn't hear anybody say the video was not authentic. But if what we saw is what happened, then I didn't see logic in shooting at the people or killing the people. With the hands out the car, you could have just give them the opportunity to come out the car, or in whatever aggressive stand, walk up to them with your gun, and if they pull out a gun, well, kill them. But we didn't see that. And that to me is what would have created some social instability during the period, and still has the potential to create that as the matter goes through the criminal justice system. And that to me is something that I await to see how that ends, and I think the public await to see how that ends, right? Okay. But those are things, and there were others like that. The gang, the group of guys that was killed at somewhere Mova Junction, Caledonia. There was some people killed similar to that somewhere in South, and a police officer had turned state witness in that matter. And all of those things, to a large extent, it goes cool after a time, and it is what, to a large extent, is creating a divide between the people and the police, which is something totally different from what you brought on the station this evening.
Okay.
Right? And that is something that clearly, with what you said this evening, maybe the powers that be, they should listen to this and probably bring back that kind of communication or that kind of arrangement in the community with the police. But to me, that is necessary. That is very necessary, in my opinion.
As a police officer, I always believe that the community is the important factor in our country, the society in which we live, because we all came from the society. And there's nothing better to work than to work with your society, you work with your community.
Correct.
And it's a community we can't turn against. We have to work with, we have to be united.
Yes.
In order to...
You're saying all the right things.
You know, to work things out. You know, most of the times, if you go and you take a little sit down, I have a fella has gone sit down anyway. And I'm going to say, boy, smiley boy. So if you think, I think if the police do that will work, you know, rather than do that. And you just get something out of that, what that person tell you. The discussion is, yeah, boy, that man talking, making sense.
Well, as you say, the police are from the community.
Yes.
But, you know, everybody every one of them to a large extent, every member of the police service come from some part of the community.
Oh, yes.
For which they would have a good idea of what's going on and that kind of thing. Why don't we see community policing as an integral part of crime fighting
yes.
in Trinidad and Tobago?
That's a
right?
good idea.
Because
yes.
if we all, I listen to you, I listen to all the things you said here, and to me that's the blueprint to solve any problem. If the police could be, long time it takes a village to raise a child. If the police could be part of the village and do the things that that sometimes the parents not doing. Let them try and make sure them try and go home. Make sure they get on a maxi, know who they are. When they see they given trouble fighting, take them up, let them know what time it is. Right? No. While they might be trying to do part of that now with police and schools and that kind of thing, I don't think that is going to bear the kind of fruits that. Because them police in school still seeing the job as a 8 or 4 job and the job done, them go on and that kind of thing. You all won't like that?
No, we used to go the extra mile. Sometimes all 10 o'clock, midnight, we still on the road, you know.
You are a parent talking to a parent about an indiscretion of a child.
I'll give you one incident. Officer Hussain and I went to the St. Mary's home at time to deal with a matter. And we stayed there. We were supposed to finish work 4 o'clock, eh? All 10 o'clock, we still in St. Mary's. To resolve the issue, it took a little time. You need patience.
Yeah.
You need to understand the culture and the what really happened, what you really want to apply there, and how you're going to apply it. Not everything is arrest, you know. Not everything you could arrest someone, a little child or whoever, deviant behavior and things like that. You could get the matter solved there and now. You know what I mean? Pay attention. It's important to pay attention to things that have been said when you're doing a little investigation. And when
you need to understand the fundamentals of investigation, the psychology of investigation, how you get information from people, all those things are important.
It's very important.
And so the community policing or the community policing section would usually be the section that would a murder happen in an area, they could provide some kind of intelligence.
Yes.
To where you could find who might be the person involved in that, that kind of thing. And make
that's a good form of
make the crime fighting solutions. Those are good crime fighting solutions. As a matter of fact, we have, I think the last time I heard, the rate at which we solve crime in Trinidad and Tobago is something in the vicinity of about 13% or something.
Very low, very low.
If you have community policing and you know the community, you know everybody in the community, you could imagine what that rate will be.
Yeah, it will move up. Solving will definitely move up.
Because they provide a different, another source of intelligence in terms of crime fighting.
Let me tell you, they have the Police Youth Club in the service.
And that's the next thing.
Yeah, that is a... In our days, we had a number of police youth clubs in most of the areas, and it was we, the community services men and women, used to have those police youth clubs. Yes, there were times we had.
So the work was like a wrong club,
boy,
every day, Monday to Sunday.
We had. There's a WPX-teen. She had a nice little thing in the Musica area.
Sergeant Reed? You didn't know that person? She was a
woman?
Yeah.
She oh gosh, let me look over there. I know Miss Reed very well. Yeah. Miss Reed, Miss Mary Reed is her name.
Okay.
She used to work with us.
She used to work up in the East.
Yes, with us.
I can tell you stories about her. She's a real nice lady.
She's nice. All right.
Community policing was really you know, it was really, really, really a good intervention.
It was.
But I don't know why it's not as prevalent as it used
to be.
then. Yeah.
Because one nice commissioner, a certain commissioner, said that all police and they kind of try to disband it in a kind of way, you know, to say, well, look, put it, yeah, that could never work.
But all police are doing what I was doing.
No, they're doing
and
that.
right now that happening.
No.
Yeah,
the love for the people, going the extra mile without getting paid for it. You understand? Without writing your overtime book. In our days, we wasn't watching nothing like that, you know. We go out there and we do what we had to do. If it take us 10 o'clock, and hey, mind you, next morning we back on the job bright and early, you know. You understand? So it was a sacrifice to reach that point, to do your best for your community, for the work that we are doing. Police youth clubs. I see they have there's a guy who's now in charge of the different areas. The police youth clubs was a good agent of those stubborn little children who used to give trouble to be at. We used to have them marching, going to hikes, going to Riverline.
Yeah.
And
so
we ourselves...
You all understood the psychology of, the Pygmalion effect.
All right, yes.
Teachers' expectation on children.
Yes.
And sometimes, I always give this story, sometimes you have a real errant child in your class. And what you do, you take that child and you give that child responsibility. You make that child the prefect or something.
Yes.
All of a sudden.
You see changes.
You see changes.
Yes.
Because he now sees himself as the teacher. He now sees himself in a responsible position.
That's
and
right.
he wants to solve problems.
That's right.
And if you understand that with children.
I used to do with some of them training. I used to go in the class. Right? And sit down in the class. And call them out. Yeah. Teach me some maths, you know. Teach me how to English. Teach me how to spell. One by one, I used to take them, you know, and have them write on. I say, write on the board. Yeah, teach me something, and all the rest of the class there. And we sit down there and we enjoy the moment. It started to bring changes in them.
Yes. And that
right in the school, in the classroom, you know? Right in the classroom.
Desperate times sometimes requires desperate, measures and that kind of thing. And to a large extent, we need to bring back, probably in a formal way, that kind of system.
Yes.
Because that system will certainly help.
It will help. It will help. It will help. I am certain of that, because it worked in those times. You might have a different approach, but you must go out to your community. Must.
Yeah.
Not show your face today in a... there's have the community outreach with the police where they go to different community centers, have town meetings.
Yeah.
It had to be more than that.
More than that. A lot more than that.
Yeah, you understand? Those officers have to be part of
the community.
The community.
It has to a large extent, it has to resonate in the community that the police officers, that initiative must be with them in the community, knowing the people, among the people, and helping solve the problem in the communities.
The community first, yes.
Yeah.
Now here, for example, I got a call. They have no water in a certain community. I went my wasa. I say, someone don't no water. We need water in my... I'm working there. We need water there. And they tell me, go ahead. And I went. Boom! The people get water.
And when people start seeing you as that, that might be a bad thing to where people start depending on you in a certain kind of way. But
we're talking about the matter of solving certain things, right? Yeah. The police could help in that. They could help in that. They wouldn't depend on us for that. But WASA have to continue keeping up their obligation in giving the people water. You understand? And when they don't have water, they go send somebody and say why they not getting water. That kind of way. It will be no longer us. They depending on, but they now know WASA. The cause. You understand?
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming swiftly in the next seconds to the end of the program. And this evening we had a very special guest, Mr. Dave James, a.k.a. Smiley. And certainly he would have brought some solutions for which the government could adopt in arresting the crime situation in Trinidad and Tobago. So you be safe. James, you too be safe. And tomorrow for sure we will see you. I will not be there tomorrow.
You got bills to pay.